Hey guys, Stefan again here with another short video. Today I'm going to be doing a little vlog over the movie Logan. I'm going to do a short little review about it, which will tell you what my thoughts and opinions about the movie are. If you haven't seen this movie, don't watch this video. Go see the movie first and then come back and watch my short review on the video. So first off, let's talk about how the movie starts. So first off, the movie starts with a little clip from the new movie coming out, Deadpool. Deadpool 2, I believe, is what they're going to call it. If you haven't seen the video for that, I'll put a link right up here so you can go and watch that. And then come back to this video. Alright, now that you're back, the thoughts on that scene. I thought that clip was actually really funny. I always find Deadpool to be a very funny character. One of the good guys for the superheroes for Marvel. The movie Logan is based upon Logan, Charles Xavier, and a little girl named Laura. Basically, Laura is a scientific experiment who has the same genetics and genes as Logan, but Logan doesn't know that she's actually his daughter, and basically throughout the movie he'll eventually find out that Laura and him are very similar and alike. She takes after her father in this instance, very much so. She has the same temper as him. Apparently, you know, she has the same, she has adamantium in her body just as well as Logan. She's also a very quick healer as well. So basically, as we go throughout the movie, the bad guys, which work for the government, are basically their objective is to control all of the mutants. A little background on Laura. Laura comes from a scientific experiment. Somehow the government got a hold of Logan's DNA among with many other mutants' DNAs, and what they did was they took those DNAs and they infused them in babies and therefore trained them their whole lives trying to control and use them as a weapon, so to use them for their advantage. But one of the nurses, when she found out about this, she actually made a video about it, showed it to Logan, and she helped the mutants escape. And there is a place, I believe, in South Dakota is where the mutants can find their safe haven. So the objective throughout this whole movie is to get Laura, which as we only know, the only survivor, to South Dakota. And Logan is the only person who can take her there. But, you know, as we all know, Logan is a very hard, stubborn character, and he refuses multiple times, but eventually finds his way to taking Nora, whether he likes it or not, to South Dakota. In the process, Logan comes across many people and family who he encounters, him alongside with Professor Charles Xavier, who during the time is suffering from a brain disease. During his old age, he has seizures, but his seizures are not like any normal human seizures. His seizures actually cause his mind, as we all know, he has telepathy. So it causes his mind to create this very high-pitched noise, which basically puts everybody in a mental state to where I want to say they can't move, except for Logan, since as we all know, he's a quick healer since he has the adamantium in him. He's able to push through the seizure that Professor Charles Xavier is undergoing so that he can administer a shot to him which will cause him to regain consciousness and for the seizure to stop. So during this time, Professor Charles Xavier is unaware of what's going on, and in one of the scenes where they're at a casino, he actually kills a lot of people because it took Logan quite a while to get from the ground level all the way up to, I believe it was like the 20th story in a casino. So during that time, a lot of people have died, and during Professor Charles' old age, he does not know what he's done until it later comes back to him. So along that way, from the casino, they make their way towards South Dakota, and they come across a family who welcomes them into their home. They take shelter there, but as we know, Logan doesn't like making friends because anybody who he comes into close contact with eventually ends up getting hurt or dying. And that was actually the result in this. Logan, during the time, Logan goes out to help the owner fix a water pump so that they can have water toward the house. And then when we come back, while that's happening, the government has actually found its way. They release one of their projects, I believe it's called Weapon X. They release him on a rampage, not necessarily on a rampage, he's controlled, but they release him to retrieve the girl in the house, and in the process, he kills Professor Charles Xavier. Keep in mind, Professor Charles Xavier does not know that this is not Logan. The government has created a weapon that looks exactly like Logan, and the weapon was able to fool Professor Charles Xavier into believing that it was him, and the weapon ends up killing him and taking the daughter along. Eventually, Logan finds his way back to the house to realize that Professor Charles is dead, along with the whole family. And he pursues to help Charles to get medical help, but in the process, as we know, Charles dies, and that angers Logan and causes him to go on a rampage. And he was able to get away with the girl. After that, Logan is heartbroken because now he has to bury Charles Xavier. He has to bury him, and after that, you can kind of see during the movie, he loses sight of who he's supposed to be. Charles, while he was alive, he was kind of that reminder to remind Logan who he's supposed to be, how he's supposed to guide and help others, and not be the animal that the government intended him to be, the weapon. But deep down, we know that Logan is an animal. I mean, he says so himself. But eventually, Logan ends up completely destroying a car that he bought for 10 grand, and ends up in a hospital because Laura actually, even though I believe she's only like maybe 7 or 8 years old, she can actually drive. It's amazing what kids can do these days. But she ends up taking him to the hospital, and Logan, as we know, refuses to receive treatment or any type of medical help because he actually wants to die. During the movie, you'll actually see that Logan keeps an adamantium bullet just in case, because he has thought about ending his life, and whenever he cannot bear the pain anymore, he thought about taking his own life, but he doesn't. So after Logan refuses help, he makes his way towards South Dakota, and when they end up there, Logan just takes time to rest and heal, and after that, he is about ready to go his separate ways with Laura. The reason being is because, as I said earlier, anybody who Logan comes into close contact with eventually ends up getting hurt, and that was pretty much the whole gist of it. Once Logan successfully got Laura to where she wanted to be taken, he was supposed to get his money and be on his way. But since none of that really fell through, he ends up staying. During this time, the kids go their separate ways to move across the border where they will be safe. And during that time, Logan actually sees the government coming and goes to warn the kids. During this time, though, keep in mind, Logan is still trying to heal because of his old age. He is unable to heal as quick as he was whenever he was in his prime. So there's this little bottle. It helps the kids heal a lot quicker. But Logan actually decides that he's going to actually take the full bottle, which is overdosing on it, which completely causes him to become enraged. We actually see a glimpse of Logan in his prime a short while the bottle lasts. I'll actually show a slight clip from that. And And that was actually, to be honest, that was one of my favorite scenes in the movie, Logan, because during the whole time I was waiting for him to kind of be the Wolverine that, as we all know and like him to be. And throughout the whole movie, we actually don't really see that until he takes the full bottle and he just becomes completely enraged with fury and goes on a huge rampage. During this time, Logan becomes very weary due to the side effects of the overdose on the medicine. During this time, we actually see Logan come into contact with the man in charge of the whole project, and Logan actually takes a gun and kills the son of Colonel Stryker, the one who originally found Logan and infused adamantium within Logan. So while Logan is weary and tiresome, he actually has to fight Project X, and during this battle, Logan is not very successful due to the fact that he is weak and drained of power. With the help of Laura, Laura actually, there's a little plot twist, Laura actually kills Project X with the adamantium bullet that Logan planned on using on himself. Eventually, we'll never know when. In the resulting process, Ben X was successful in killing Logan by literally taking his body and dragging him into a tree branch. Now, generally, Logan should have been able to heal from that wound, but due to the fact that he overdosed on the medication, his body was suffering great damage, and therefore he was unable to self-heal in that fact. So therefore, sadly, I'm sad to say, Logan eventually ends up dying. And with his last words to Nora, as we hear Laura say "Daddy," she recognizes that Logan is actually her father. Pretty much throughout the whole movie, she knows, but it isn't until Logan is literally dying that we hear her say the words "Daddy." It's actually a little kind of heartbroken, honestly, to see Logan die in such a tragic way. It's also sad to say that I don't believe that we will be seeing another movie with Logan or any X-Men in it. Who knows? I could be wrong. Marvel could be in the works of making another Marvel X-Men type movie. We will have to wait and find out. But the movie ends with Laura and her other mutant friends crossing over to the border, where I believe they shall be safe from the government. Who knows, they could create another movie where the government is still trying to capture all of the little mutants and still trying to control them. Who knows, we won't know. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like this, please like and subscribe. Leave your comments down below. I'd like to hear what your thoughts and opinions were on the movie. If you guys want my YouTube channel to lean more toward reviews or more towards something else, not sure what else, but let me know and I will try to make videos around what you guys would like to see. Other than that, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Peace. Catch y'all later. I'm out.